Good morning. Well, what an exceptional day for me yesterday. Hopefully, it was the same for you. Let's work our way through some of the profit makers. First one, Portugal against Hungary. It's your standard play. Not getting much of a profit on Portugal, backing them at odds of 2.16, laying Hungary at 3.75. But then you can back Hungary at 60s, lay Portugal at 1.16, and get out once you get the win. It was 1-1 at half time. Similar to France, must wins. And that was pretty good odds for France. A pretty good profit as well, 1-1 at half time. The Icelandics did put in a really good shift. Looked a little disjointed, the French, considering the amount of talent they've got. But they got the job done. And again, it's a simple matter. What I did on this occasion, I actually doubled my stake. I backed France. I didn't back France and lay Iceland because there was no point laying Iceland at odds of something like 5s or 6s. So I laid over 1.5 goals, cover the 0-1 for Iceland, and on this occasion, doubled my stake. Backed France rather than back France, lay Iceland. Cashed out at the France win. That's why I got a little bit more out of that. But I was playing up winnings from earlier on, as you'll see in a second. Republic of Ireland under 21s against Andorra under 21s. Laying the draw. Nice and simple. I thought it was extremely good value. Laying the draw at 2.94. Why was that value? Let's take a look. Under 21s. 1.11 pre-match. 1.11. So you're hoping, and quite obviously didn't perform like 1.11 shots, but you're hoping for that single goal that a 1.11 shot should be delivering. And then it came. And you can see they move in the odds. Laying at 2.94, lay the draw, back at 9.4, and you're out. Yes, it's not the biggest profit in the world, but we're adding all this together. And it suddenly starts becoming quite an avalanche. Kosovo under 21s against Spain. This is a lesson. It was an obvious lay the draw here at half time. But I was watching the match and the Spanish took a long time or at least struggled to break down the Kosovans. So in future, that's 2 profits I've missed by watching the match and inferring that it's not going to happen. In-play stats. Some matches are worth watching. For example, Ireland, because you know they're blunt in attack, and by watching them you can just see they're not going to be scoring 2 goals. But here, should have laid that draw quite easily. Congo and Senegal. This was a battle for the top 2 in the World Cup qualifying group. Senegalese stats were superb. The last time these two met, it was a 1-1 draw. Congo took the lead. Congo were leading 2-1. Senegal made it 2-2. I cashed out at the 2-2, but they went on and won the match. Armenia and the Republic of Ireland. This was a loss. The reason I went big, I didn't really go big. This is 2 times £40 stake. So I got involved initially at the 1-0 to Armenia, and it didn't come off. It was 2-0 to Armenia. I got in again to make it 2-1 and managed to. At 2-1, I was looking for that 2-2. So I got £39 back of that 78. So that looks like a big loss, but it's not. And I've noticed trading, we're going to take a hit occasionally, but the battle is to just overtake that loss with a whole raft of wins. And that's why these £13 become important. That is 1/3 of your £40 possible loss here. Serbia, this was a huge profit of the day. How do I unpack this one for you? Let's take a look. Look at that. And we're not talking big stakes here either. It's quite unbelievable match. Sod's law, I didn't have the nerve to pass on under 19s to you. The liquidity was an issue as well. I don't think you'd have got on. I had a little bit of a play around. Let's see how this match unfolded, because it was quite something. 6-5. So first thing to note, we've got a 1.68 away favourite. That's what piqued my interest. That's why I like targeting odds-on favourites. So we know that it's 4-0 after 28 minutes. Why on earth is this 1.68 favourite 4-0 down? Something don't smell right. Head-to-heads. This is interesting. Go down to the head-to-heads. 4 goals scored by Portugal under 19s here. 3 goals scored by Portugal under 19s here. None scored here, but I conveniently ignored that. I was pinning my hopes on this. You've got 2 clues here. You've got 1.68 away favourite. You've got 4 goals scored in 2024, 3 in 2022. So you've got goals in the locker. They are favourite. I think I got involved at 3-0. Got involved again at 4-0. It's called averaging. I averaged up. So I don't know if you can decipher this. This is backing Portugal under 19s at 19.5 and 20s. I didn't have the nerve to back them for a fiver at 55s. I only backed them for £2 at 55s. I wish I'd done a fiver. Laying Serbia at odds of 1.05, 1.15 and 1.49. So I obviously got interested a little bit earlier, backing Portugal at 7s. So as the goals came in for Serbia, I stood my ground, got involved at higher odds, 7s, 20s, 55s. And that was the initial play, all those early shorter odds. And off we go. In-play stats were very important here as well, because Portugal were really involved. In-play stats crucial. 2 goals before half-time. Could have actually cashed out for a profit here, because the market's thinking they've got 2 in the bag. There's only a 2-goal deficit now, and there's a whole second half to go, and off we go. That is my exit point. 4-4. Why? Well, the profit there was £300 if Portugal pulled it off. That is an extremely good profit for not even pulling off the win. Why do you make such a big profit? You've already backed them at 20s, 7s, 55s. When they make it 4-4, their odds are no longer 55s, are they? Dropped markedly. Cash out at the 4-4. Bang. Serbia will have stolen all of your profit. That is the beauty of trading. So this a great example for a match. 1, it's early. Get involved. It's going to cost you nothing, and you could win big. Comes off. Don't forget, as a trader, you're not looking for the Portuguese under 21s to win. You're looking for the hint that they might win. That's when you cash out. That's the beauty of trading. So that was the icing on the cake yesterday. Netherlands under 21s against Iceland under 21s. Ended up a draw. So I think I cashed out early here. But yeah, I think I cashed out early. We can have a look at how the match eventuated. I think the Israelis took the lead. And what I've noticed about the likes of Israel, they've improved defensively, both the under 21s and the major side. There we go, a 2-2 there, 1.21 favourite. So that's already got us thinking there is something of interest here. It's a late entry point for me, 61 minutes. I still laid over 1.5 goals. Covered that 0-1 for the Israelis. As I just alluded to, there seems to be an increase in their defensive stoutness, both Israel under-21s and the Israel national side themselves. Got the equaliser here. That you're out at the 2-1. And again, this is the beauty of trading. That would have stolen all of your profit away had you been sitting on and waiting for that final whistle. You cash out here. You cash out here thinking the Netherlands have gone and won. It ends up a draw. Who cares? If it ends a draw, I've greened up everything. Tanzania and Niger. Boy, this was hard to watch. It was awful football. African football, generally speaking, there's no tactical nous at all. It's your good old-fashioned Sunday league footy. You clear from the back by hoofing it as high up in the air as you can get, hoping one of your mates gets the ball. Niger took the lead. Tanzania's the reason I got involved here again is an in-play stats look. Tanzania and Niger. Do your research. So we've got Tanzania and Niger here. We've got a 1.7 favourite. So immediately that's interesting me. Niger taking the lead against Tanzania, who must win in order to get through and continue their World Cup qualifying. But head-to-heads, look at this for Niger. No goals. No goals scored. 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 So are they really going to score a second goal? I bet on them not scoring a second goal. But I covered the 0-1. So although I lost, I broke even. Or rather, I lost 80p. Scotland under-19s against the UAE under-19s. This, again, I started very, very early in the morning yesterday. What you'll notice I did yesterday, I've got involved in matches I normally wouldn't get involved with. The Portuguese under-19s was a friendly. Scotland under-19s was a friendly. The UAE took the lead, and thankfully for me, having a good weekend, the Scots, with that beating of Belarus, the under-19s did the job as well. Against the United Arab, there we go, 7-1. So I'm alerted to the 1.43 odds. I know it's a friendly, so I deserve to get an absolute hiding if the Scots don't turn up. But they got the goal before half-time. That is your first exit. And then suddenly, I'm out here. I didn't realise all this was going to turn up. I wish the national side would do that. But no. So that continued the profit. Kosovo and Sweden, I think, was from the day before. That was a loss, but that loss was overturned again by a number of other profitable plays, as you can see there. So that's the whole point. We're trying to avoid these full liability losses, but they will be inevitable from time to time. I do all the checks I can in play stats, everything, to make sure I pick strong candidates. But like Sweden, sometimes they just don't turn up against Kosovo. So you're going to take a hit now and again. Then again, you're going to pick up something like these throughout and more than amply compensate for those losses. So an exceptional day yesterday. Really solid. My betting bank has risen markedly. Once I get to a certain stage, I can increase my stake sizes, and that the compounding effect will increase. So no longer will I be stuck on the £40. I can move up, maybe just nudge it up to £45, £50. But this is psychologically comforting for me, £40. I'm comfortable losing it. It's just it works well for me. But I know if I want to make proper money, you're going to have to increase your stake. But your stake increase has to be relative to your bank. So a brilliant, brilliant day yesterday. I hope members profited, and I wished I'd passed on that Portuguese under-19s to you at 4-0 because it fits in my criteria. Don't low risk, massive return. Nothing doing today at all, as you can see. Nothing doing tomorrow either. I've got AI working on a number of articles for us, trading against and betting. 5 common football trading mistakes, and that's a very good article as well. You probably know all of these. And expected goals, for those of you new to the expected goals, that article will be a good introduction. They'll be coming onto the blog on the website soon. Friday is when it gets busy. Always check the first division. I've got an odds-on favourite there at 6 o'clock, but that's about it. So I'm going to have to sit on my hands for 2 days, having made that exceptional profit yesterday. Friday sees a return to recognisable league football in Europe, so looking forward to that. Standard Liège having an awful season, so they're probably worth leaving alone. Odds-on favourites tend to deliver well in the Chinese Super League, so we've got 3 at home as well. You can check out the research at soccerstats.com for China if you're up at midday, or if you're available at midday, you should be up at midday. Elsewhere, the Danish Super League. Don't forget this weekend, I've got to warn you, this weekend is post-international football break, pre-Champions League. So we're going to have a scenario this weekend where a number of sides are going to be involved in the Champions League upcoming. A number of sides will have international players coming back. So we're going to have surprise results. Now, for members of footballtradingprofits.com, I have highlighted all of the teams involved in European club competition, particularly involved in internationals as well when they've got such a star-studded team. You can see here on Tuesday, we've got the beginning of the Champions League. So Arsenal at home to Nottingham Forest under Ange Postecoglou, ex of Spurs. That's got banana skin written all over it, hasn't it? Watch the Arsenal team because they're going to be probable multiple changes. Benfica are involved in the Champions League as well. Watch out for them at the weekend. PSV Eindhoven, Juventus playing Saturday or Sunday, I think. Dortmund are playing. I've highlighted them as well. Real Madrid, Marseille are playing home on a Friday. That also gives you a clue. Some matches on a Friday featuring big names suggest the Champions League is coming. Tottenham under Thomas Frank were taught a tactical lesson by Bournemouth. Now, this is his first juggling of matches and squad. So, potential vulnerability for Tottenham at the weekend as well under Thomas Frank. So, we've got these Champions League sides. It continues on Wednesday and Thursday, the Champions League. So, watch out for these teams. Bodo Glimt playing Ajax, Inter Milan under new manager Chivu. So they could be vulnerable to the weekend. Inter Milan lost last weekend. Bayern Munich and Chelsea. Harry Kane's been playing for England. They've got an upcoming Champions League match on the Wednesday. Chelsea as well, involved in yet another London derby this weekend. They have had a draw and 2 wins in their other London derbies. All London derbies so far for Chelsea, but they are involved in the Champions League as well. They have the advantage, like they did in the Europa League last season, of playing a completely different 11. So watch out for that. Liverpool as well, been conceding 2+ goals. This is banana skin territory for them at the weekend. Atletico Madrid have had a very, very poor start to the season. Paris Saint-Germain, well, they're just head and shoulders above everyone else in France. And Atalanta, Champions League, that's going to affect their season potentially as well. So it's a very sticky weekend. Post-international football, pre-Champions League. Some sides are going to falter. Have a great day today. There's nothing to pass on to you. I'm probably not going to see you tomorrow. I will return and see you on Friday. Let's give you some articles, something else tomorrow to have a look at.